Did I really hear him correctly? I am too sensitive. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe everything is really my fault. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, not because you forgot what happened, but because someone convinced you that your own memory couldn't be trusted? Have you ever apologized, even though deep down you were not sure what you did wrong? Or maybe you caught yourself thinking, maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe everything is really my fault. If those thoughts sound familiar, stay with me because today we are talking about one of the most dangerous form of emotional manipulation. One that often hides behind ordinary conversation, gaslighting. And the most frightened part, many people experience it without realizing it's happening. Imagine this. Sarah come from home after work. She exhausted. Earlier that morning, her husband promised he had pick up their daughter from school, but when she gets home, their daughter is still waiting. Sarah calmly asked, "I thought you said you had picked her up." He looked at her and laughed and say, "I never said that." Sarah pauses. She certain she remembered the conversation. She even remembered where they were standing. But he keeps insisting, "You are imagining things. You always twist my words. Your memory is terrible." Eventually, Sarah begins wondering, did I really hear him correctly? What Sarah experienced wasn't simply an argument. It was something much deeper. It was gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where someone repeatedly causes another person to question their own memory, perception, or judgment. It doesn't usually happen overnight. It happens slowly, conversation by conversation, until the confidence becomes confusion. Today, I will uncover the most common sign of the gaslighting that appear in everyday conversation, many of which people mistakes for normal communication. Number one sign. One of the earliest warning sign is simple. They deny conversation that clearly happened. You remember what they said? You remember how it happened? Maybe you even remember the exact words, yet they confidently say, "I never said that. That never happened. You are making things up." At first, you assume it must be a misunderstanding. Everyone forgets things sometime, but over weeks, over a month, it becomes a pattern. Every disagreement somehow ends with the same way. You question yourself. Here, what makes gaslighting so dangerous? The gaslighter often sounds calm, confident, even convincing. Meanwhile, the victim begins doubting themselves. Psychologists explain that when someone repeatedly challenges another person's memory with confidence, the brain can be prioritizing the manipulator's version of even over its own recollection. This isn't because the victim is weak, it's because constant contradiction creates uncertainty, and uncertainty slowly erodes confidence. Ask yourself after conversation with certain people, do you trust yourself more or less? The answer may reveal more than you realize. Sign number two. Imagine telling someone that comment really hurt me. Instead of listening, they smile and reply, "You are too sensitive. You take everything personally. You are so dramatic." Notice what happened? They didn't address your feeling, they dismissed them. Healthy people may disagree with your perspective, but they don't invalidate your emotion. Gaslighters often shift the focus away from their behavior and onto your reaction. Instead of asking, "Did I hurt you?" they ask, "What's wrong with you?" Over time, you begin censoring yourself. You stop expressing hurt. You stop speaking honestly. Not because the pain disappeared, but because you have been trained to believe your emotions aren't valid. Eventually, you become emotionally silent And that exactly where manipulation becomes easier. Sign number three, and this one is especially confusing. Let's say someone insults you. A week later, you bring it up instead of apologizing. They say, you are remembering it wrong. That's not what I meant. You are taking it out of context. Or perhaps I was only joking. Suddenly, the story changes. Not because new facts appeared, but because changing the past protect them from accountability. Gaslighters really admit harmful behavior. Instead, they rewrite history until they become the victim and you become the problem. This creates emotional exhaustion because you are no longer discussing what happened. You are defending reality itself, and it's an impossible conversation to win. Sign number four. Imagine this. You discover your friend shared something personal about you without permission. You confront them calmly instead of apologizing. They suddenly become upset. Wow, I can't believe. You think I had do that? After everything I have done for you, you are always attracting me. A few minutes later, something strange happened. You find yourself saying, I am sorry. But wait, what exactly are you apologizing for? You weren't the one who crossed the line, yet somehow the conversation ended with you taking responsibility. This is one of the clear sign of emotional manipulation. Gaslighters are skilled at shifting guilt. Instead of discussing their action, they redirect attention towards your reaction over time. You begin apologizing automatically, even when you have done nothing wrong. If you constantly leave conversation feeling guilty without understanding why, pay attention. Healthy relationships solve problem together. Manipulative relationship often make one person carry all the blame. Sign number five. Picture a family dinner. Everyone is laughing. Then someone say, you are so useless. People laugh. You don't. You quietly respond, that wasn't funny. Immediately they reply, relax. Can't you take a joke? You are too serious. Notice the pattern. The hurtful comment isn't acknowledged. Instead, your reaction becomes the problem. Humor can bring the people together, but it should never become a shield for disrespect. Psychologists often describe this as a way of avoiding accountability. By calling something just a joke, the speaker shifts attention away from the impact of their words. Healthy people care if they hurt someone. Manipulative people often care more about defending what they said than understanding how it affected you. Ask yourself, do you feel safe laughing with the person, or are you constantly wondering if you will be the next punchline? There is a big difference. Sign number six. Gaslighting rarely happens in isolation. Many manipulators also weaken the relationship that keep you grounded at first. It sounds innocent. Your friend don't really care about you. Your family is turning you against me. Why do you always listen to them instead of me? Slowly, you stop making phone calls. You cancel the plans. You spend less time with the people who you know really, and without realizing it, the manipulator become your main source of truth. Why is this dangerous? Because when no one else is offering perspective, it is much easier to believe the lie you are being told. Healthy relationship encourage healthy connections. Controlling relationship often discourage them. If someone consistently tries to separate you from people who genuinely care about you, that's not love, that's the control. So here is the good news. The same mind that learned self-doubt can learn the self-trust again. Healing doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen one decision at a time. Start by paying attention to the patterns instead of isolated incident. Anyone can forget something, anyone can make mistake, but repeated denial, repeated blames, repeated confusion, that's a pattern. Second, Write things down. Many people recovering from gaslighting find it helpful. Keep a journal of important conversations, dates, and events. It can help them distinguish between facts and self doubt, especially if they find themselves questioning their own memories. Third, talk to someone trust, close friend, family member, or a qualified mental health professional. Gaslighting grows in isolation. Clarity often grows in healthy conversation. And finally, listen to your instinct. If every conversation leaves you feeling confused, ashamed, or responsible for everything, don't ignore those feelings. Curiosity is healthier than self blame. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" ask, "Why do I always feel this way after talking to the person?" Sometimes that one question change everything. Remember Sarah from the beginning? For months she believed she was forgetful, too emotional, too difficult, until one day she started writing the things down. She noticed something surprising. Her memory wasn't failing. Reality wasn't changing. The story she was being told were that realization didn't solve every problem overnight, but it gave her something she had been missing for a long time, and that is called confidence. And confidence become the first step towards the freedom. Maybe today you are like Sarah. Maybe you have spent months or even years questioning yourself. If so, hear this carefully. Being manipulated doesn't mean you are weak. Questioning yourself doesn't mean you are broken. And asking for help doesn't mean you are failed. Real strength isn't pretending nothing happened. Real strength is having the courage to face the truth, even when it's painful. Because once you can clearly see manipulation, it's begun to lose its power. And once you start trusting yourself again, you take back something no one ever had the right to steal: your voice, your confidence, and your peace. So, if this video helped you understand gaslighting, share it with someone who may need to hear it. You never know who has been silently questioning themselves for too long. And if you had like more videos about emotional health, relationship psychology, and practical way to recognize manipulation, subscribe to the channel, because awareness is often the first step towards healing. Remember this: someone else's manipulation does not define your reality. Your ability to recognize the truth can become the beginning of your freedom. Thank you.